What's up everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the April Direct and the Switch 2. I want to talk about my predictions. I don't want to do too many videos on this. I'm not going to be spamming them like all the other YouTubers. One of the last videos that I did was when I first started my channel about 4 months ago, and some of the predictions that I made in that have actually come true. So stick with me on this because I've got a good eye for this, good ear for this, we'll see. Maybe it's inside information, maybe I just have an educated guess. You'll never know, you'll never know. But anyway, so some of the things that I wanted to talk about today are the announced games, or the ones that are kind of announced, and the stuff that I think will be announced in this Direct, and stuff that I would love to see as well. So we'll start off with announced, as in kind of announced. We've got Mario Kart 9. Now, the last Mario Kart originally came out in 2014, which is 11 years ago now, which is crazy. Can't believe it's been out so long. So they've had a lot of time to bake this one. I'm hoping for a full and complete game. I'm hoping that it's not a live service, although I do think there's going to be a live service element to this game. I think it's going to be something that adapts and grows with the Switch 2's life cycle and is very heavily linked to Nintendo Switch Online, just to keep people subscribing to that. So I think they'll have a constant trickle of tracks. But as long as they've got a base game that was as big as, Mario Kart 8 at the very least when that came out, then I'm going to be happy. It's enough to play. It's enough to get into. So, yeah, looking forward to that one. I think that's going to be, one that's going to be packaged as their main title for release. That's my prediction on that one. Another game that has been announced, which will be Metroid Prime 4. Now, Metroid Prime 4, they did say it was coming out on the Switch. I think this is going to be a dual release. I think it's going to come out on the Switch and the Switch 2, but it'll be at the Switch 2's launch, just to get the extra sales. Last one that came out, as in the mainline one, was Metroid Prime Corruption 2007. So they have had a long time to bake that, but I am slightly worried about the development cycle from it, because it was officially announced in 2017, which is a long time ago now, and I just think it's past a few developers and games like that. The last one that springs to mind was Duke Nukem Forever. Although I quite liked that game, it was one of my guilty pleasures. It wasn't well received at all, so I'm hoping that it is good. But Nintendo tend not to do too much in the way of crappy games. But we'll see. We'll see. Another one that has kind of been announced, they said it's coming out on Nintendo platforms, is Yooka-Laylee. Now, Yooka-Laylee is a rehash of Yooka-Laylee, the 3D version. Pretty good game. It did have some flaws, and I think they've addressed this in this release. I'm pretty sure that they'll show that at the April Direct as well, because, albeit for a very short period of time, because it's quite a cutesy, fun game. It'll be something, family orientated, and something that they'd probably be happy to show. So I'm expecting to see that as well. Another game that's been put back mysteriously that I wanted to talk about at the moment, and it was one that I was looking to buy on the Nintendo Switch, and it seemed to be sort of tracking in terms of when people were guessing the release date, or where insiders were originally saying the release date for the Switch 2 would be. And this is Broken Sword 1. Now, I know that's already been released on the eShop, but there is a physical version coming, and the physical version keeps getting put back. Its current release date, and why would they put it back if it's already out? Maybe to have mouse support on a new console? Don't know. Could be one to look into, this one. But Broken Sword Remake, I don't know whether they'll show that at the event. Maybe they will. But that's just been delayed to 25th of July. Now, it goes against me saying that I don't think, if the console doesn't come out in June, I think it will be September, which is the only thing that's throwing me on this date of the 25th of July. But maybe they've just put it back, and maybe that's just a physical copy thing. Maybe I'm reading into things too much. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below on that one. I think in terms of announcements as well, we're going to see a new 3D mainline Mario game. As to what that will be, I'm not sure. I'm hopeful for an Odyssey 2, but I think it will just be something completely new. I think it will be a completely new game. I'm really hoping it's not an open world Mario, because I just think I'd like something that's just done and fine-tuned rather than something that's massive and sprawling and trying to be something that it isn't. And I don't know whether an open world Mario. I know they tried something with 3D Mario World and the Bowser's Fury, which was all right. I thought it was all right. A lot of people liked it, but I prefer the sort of big level, and then that changes and you go somewhere else. I don't know whether it will work in a full open world, but Nintendo, they could pull it off. I'm sure they could. I'm hoping just a normal one, though, myself. My wish is Odyssey 2, but I don't think it will be that. I think they'll announce that. If the console's coming out in June, that'll be sort of a September, October release. It won't be their holiday release, but it'll be a Halloween release. Or that will be a winter release, and this will lead me to my next one. And the Halloween release would be a Luigi's Mansion 4. So the last one was Luigi's Mansion 3, 2019 release. 2019 release, wow, that was years ago. 6 years ago, so they've had a lot of time to bake another Luigi's Mansion. It was relatively successful, the last one, for them. They did sell quite a few copies, so it wouldn't surprise me if they went straight into development for the next one on that. And obviously they had a filler in the meantime with Luigi's Mansion 2 HD remake, which came out last year, I believe, tail end of last year. So we'll see what happens with that. I think at the show as well, we're not going to be seeing any mainline Zelda game. We will see Zelda. It will be a Zelda remake or a collection of remakes. And I think it's going to be at least 3 years before we get another mainline Zelda game. I think in that time, this year we will get Wind Waker. Next year we will get Twilight Princess. And the year after, I think we'll get a 2D, 3D Zelda. And the year after that, we'll get the mainline Zelda. So I'm thinking 2029 for the next big mainline Zelda. That's my guess. It's a bit out there, I know. Obviously, they mentioned the new Pokémon game. So I'm sure that they will show that at the event, even though I do have, well, you can't see them from here, but I do have all the Pokemon. I'm not the biggest fan. I've struggled to get into them all. I've always wanted to get into them, but I've struggled. So I'm not too fussed about that myself, but let us know if you guys are looking forward to the new Pokemon game and whether you think that's going to be on the Switch 2 or not, or whether it's just going to be a Switch release. We shall see on that. So now we're going to get into my sort of moderate probability games. So the ones that I think are potentials to come out, but less likely, and we're less likely to see them at this event. I don't think we're going to get a new Super Smash Bros. But what I do think, they will do a HD Ultimate remake with all the characters on one cartridge. So Smash Bros came out in 2018. So that has been out quite a few years itself, but they have been developing that the whole time, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have a break from it. So I think they'll knock out a slightly updated roster, but basically what we've got now with all the DLC on one cartridge. I think they'll do that. With maybe a couple new characters just to entice people to double dip again, and that'll be a full price release. I'm pretty sure that will come out in the first 12 months of the Switch 2's release. Star Fox. It's been a while since we had a last Star Fox game. 2016 was it? 2016 was it? Star Fox Zero? Could it be 2016? Might have been, but it was quite poorly received anyway. Didn't sell very well. But it could be a chance for a fresh reboot for the series. So I would love to see that. A remake of Star Fox 64. That would be cool. I love that game. But that's got fond memories for me. And probably going back to it now might not be as good. But if they remade it and made it look really awesome, I'm in on that train. Splatoon 4, I don't think we'll see that for a couple of years. They've got a fairly consistent release pattern on that. It seems to be they release it, within 5 years each game. The last one was 2023, So we are 2 years into that. So I don't expect we'll see that announced in the first year, but we could do, that they've been relatively iterative in terms of their updates in that game. So we'll see. Pikmin 5 as well. Last game was Pikmin 4. Did all right. It's not a massive seller. It came out in 2023, so I'm not expecting one of those at any time soon as well. So I wouldn't think about that. One that I would expect to see, and there were rumblings about a remaster flying around, is Kid Icarus. So last one was Kid Icarus Uprising, came out 2012. That's a long time ago now. That was a 3DS title, if I remember rightly. But yeah, awesome game. It's fondly received by many. It's got a bit of a cult following. That could be something that they reboot and try and bring back. I'd look forward to seeing that. One that I'm pretty confident that we will get an announcement within the first 12 months of the Switch 2 coming out is F-Zero. They've been pushing that a lot recently. Obviously, the last game was F-Zero GX. That came out in 2003 now. So that's a long time ago. But they did release F-Zero 99 on the Switch, which I think renewed a lot of interest for the series. So maybe Nintendo were just sort of gauging it on how many people played that and see what happens with that. So I'm hoping, or maybe they've got something in development already. Maybe they've got something in development already and they're just trying to sort of keep it, keep that fire burning. Keep that fire burning. Keep people thinking about F-Zero. So yeah, that could be something. Don't think we will see a new Paper Mario for a while. Last one was 2020. Well, it's been 5 years. We could get an announcement within the first year, but I don't think we'll see that for another couple of years after that. Origami King was the last one. I'm not sure whether it sold particularly well. It sold a few million, I think, but yeah, we'll see on that one. So let's talk about some real out there ones, which I'd love to see. But they're unlikely. Now, the top one for me is Pilot Wings. I absolutely love Pilot Wings. And I'm sure there's at least 3 other people in the world that love Pilot Wings as well. And I'd love to know who you are. Put a comment down below if you love Pilot Wings, because Pilot Wings was mwah. It was beautiful. I loved that game. I loved it on the N64. I loved it on the SNES. I'd love to see it back. It would be great. It would be awesome. And Wave Race as well. You can tell where, the genre, the time in which I was really into Nintendo, the N64 days. So yeah, I'd absolutely love to see, a remake or a re-release of Pilot Wings. That would be awesome. I'd like to see a new one, a new Pilot Wings, a new Wave Race. That'd be good. Add those to the list as well. And the last one I wanted to talk about today is a bit out there. Obviously, RPGs. Well, there's 2 here. There's RPGs. I'm pretty sure there'll be another Fire Emblem announced within the next 12 months. I'm not sure whether we'll see another Xenoblade. I think, obviously, because we've got the one coming out, Xenoblade Chronicles X next month, I think there's going to be another couple of years before we see anything. Chronicles 3 was last year, maybe, or the year before. Gosh, I don't know, but it was fairly recently, that one. So I'm not expecting we'll see anything in their mainline installment series for another couple of years. They're quite big games. I know they do push them out, but they do take quite a while to develop something like that. The last one, and the one that a lot of people would love to see, is a Earthbound remake or collection. So the last one was Mother 3, came out in Japan only in 2006. Obviously, they call it Mother over there, but I'd love to see Earthbound. That would be really, really cool. I'd love to see a reimagining of the original in a sort of style that Octopath Traveler's in. That sort of really stylized 2D, 3D graphics that have been, a few of them have released recently. That would be really cool. But anyway, I'm rattling on too much now, so I'm going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts. If you've got any predictions yourself, it would be really good for you to put those in the comments down below. And the reason I say that, I like looking back at these videos and just seeing what I got right, what other people got right, and it'd be good to look back. And if anyone gets a prediction on the money that hasn't been said before, I will give you a Nintendo eShop card of £25. There you go. That is a deal. Anyone does that, you put that comment down now before it's actually been announced, and I will grant you that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.